Hi, I'm Jeanette Larson with Growth Unlimited, and today we're talking about change. We've been doing a series of videos talking about making changes in your life because that seems to be something that people in society are really focused on right now. With all the unrest and everything that's happened since the economy started opening up after COVID-19 occurred, there are a lot of people who are saying change needs to be made. And some of the changes that are being advocated for are pretty outrageous. And so what we have done is we've been talking about change, why it is so difficult to change, and what we can do to start making the changes, effective changes in our lives the way we want them to be. And today we're going to be talking about the stages of change. This is actually information taken from a theory in psychology called the Transtheoretical theory. It was originally put together by a couple of psychologists by the names of Carlo Di Clemente and James Prochaska, who were studying why it was that people were having a difficult time quitting smoking. And what they discovered is that there are actually 5 different stages in the process of change that determine how able a person is actually to make change. And so today we're going to talk about these, and I invite you to take a look at yourself as we go through them and decide where you are in terms of change in your life. Now, let me qualify that a little bit, because that stage of change can be different for different applications in your life, different situations in your life. And so we talked a little bit in the last video about being self-aware. And that is one of the biggest and most important things that needs to be in place in order to help you do anything in terms of your personal development, including making changes in your life. So let's get into it. Let's see what the different stages of change are. And then in future videos, we're going to talk about how, if you're not where you want to be in terms of your stage of change, what you need to do to get there. Okay, the first stage of change is a state of what Prochaska and his partner called pre-contemplation. Now, if you're pre-contemplative, what that means is that you don't recognize any need to change at all. You may not be happy with what's going on in your life, but you don't think that you're the person that needs to make the change. The second stage is contemplation. And that stage is where you've shifted from thinking you're not the person that needs to make the change to considering maybe there is something that you could do to make a change. You recognize the potential problems in not making a change, but you're still not yet fully committed to changing yourself. Okay, the third stage of change is preparation. And during this preparation stage of change, a plan for creating change in your life is put together. You recognize that you are the one that needs to make the change, and you start looking at what needs to happen in order to make the change. Then the fourth stage is the action stage of change. And this is where you take the steps that were created during the preparation stage, put them into place, and start putting them together and start taking action on them. This is where the behavioral change finally does start beginning. For example, a person who's committed to losing weight will begin to exercise and change his eating habits during this stage. And the fifth stage of change is maintenance. And now this is one that's interesting because lots of times we get into the action stage in the process of change, and a couple days into it, we may think we're already there. We've made the change. One of the things that we have to realize, though, is that in order to have effective change, we've got to maintain that change over a period of time. And that usually makes that stage 4 of change last longer, because habits are not built in a matter of hours. I'm trying to remember. I believe that some of the studies I've read say it takes as long as 30 days of doing something to create a habit. Some theorists believe it takes even longer. But basically, until you have ingrained that change into your life, you haven't entered stage 5, which is the maintenance stage of change. So during the time that you're moving from stage 4 to stage 5, it's very, very important to monitor your progress and plan ahead for any possible problems or pitfalls that may be coming up. Because those things, if you get caught in those pitfalls and problems, you'll resort back to your original behavior, and then the whole process is lost and you have to start over. Now, one of the secrets you have to remember when you're looking at change is ultimately you have the power to change one person. That person is you. That you may be able to influence other people by changes you make in yourself into choosing to make changes in themselves. But you are not ever going to be able to actually put somebody in a position where you make them change. No one has that power, and no one has that right. So, when you're looking at change, if you have an external situation that you're not happy with, rather than focusing on what you can do to make them change, you need to focus on what you can do to change yourself, so that it will influence that person to want to make the change that will end up benefiting everyone. This is true whether you're talking about raising children in your own family, or whether you're talking on a bigger scale, whether you want to change something that's happening in your place of work, or whether you want to change something that's happening on a national or world level. The process of change begins with you. And what you choose to do and the actions you take are what are going to determine whether or not that change occurs. Okay, thanks for joining me today. If this video was helpful, subscribe, share it with your friends, and visit our website at www.growthunlimited.org to get more ideas on how you can take control of your life. Thanks. I'll see you next time. And next time, we're actually going to be talking about transitions that you can actually use to have change happen in your life. Thanks again. Talk to you later. Bye now.